Hello everyone, Derek's Damn Toys, and we are back with another action figure review. Technically, you can say we've got 4 of them to review because today we've got the Target exclusive, just like the last video, you know, or well, maybe technically not the last video because I do have another figure to review other than these 4, but technically it still hasn't come in today. Technically, it was supposed to come yesterday, but you know, that's besides the point. What isn't besides the point though is how effing beautiful this packaging is all the way around, including the Smackdown logo up there. You've got a bio about each match and each superstar and all that kind of shit, though I will say technically his finisher was called the FU back in the day, but we won't talk about it, you know? We won't talk about that. We also got a graphic of each 4 men on the side of the box, and yeah, like, probably one of the best 4 packs they have actually released here in a long time. But, you know, with all that being said, why don't I shush the hell up? We can open this and get all of these men out of their plastic prison, and we can go over each of the figures and their accessories now, shall we? Alrighty, you guys, now that we finally got everything up out of their plastic prison, we can go over everything that we see here laid out and about. Now, when it comes down to it, I do not have a Cena or a Booker that I can really compare from this era. I do have a King Booker, I do have the Ultimate Edition Cena plus a few others, but I don't really have those figures from this era. I do have the Steve Austin, though, technically, that this is using the formula of, so just a little comparison there for you. Got a different head scan and stuff of that nature. But of course, we've got a plethora of accessories when it comes down to it at the end of the day. Of course, the last review I didn't really go over too well over the accessories, so I do plan to do that here. Now, Eddie Guerrero and Booker T do have the least amount of accessories, so let's go over theirs first, I guess. We've got a set of hands for each man, along with the hands that are already in the figure, I guess you could say, which are a set of fist hands for each man, including Cena as well. All their fist hands essentially were in there, except for the Steve Austin, the milk jug hand, and his open hand were in there. I just took the fist hand and put it in there, because why not? But of course, he also comes with a set of weapon holding hands, or mic holding hands, or whatever you would like to say. And he does come with this nice cloth cheat to win shirt, though I am a little disappointed because I don't know if it's paint rub or what, but there's a little schmutz on the Eddie Guerrero's backside, which is kind of funny to think about. And when it comes down to it, the John Cena alternative head scan also has a little bit of schmutz on it. But those are the only 2 figures that do have a little bit of schmutz on it. We'll get into that later, though. Of course, going over the Booker T, he has a set of mic holding hands and a set of fisted hands. And then he's got a t-shirt that says, "Tell me you did not just say that," or "Tell me you didn't just say that." I don't know why I said did not, but same difference. Really nice shirt all around, and I do like the Booker T so far as well, just kind of thinking about it. But now we can get into the other 2 men, and we will go over the John Cena first. Of course, he's got 2 interchangeable head scans. He's got this Screaming Ultimate Edition style head scan, which looks pretty well. I can't say it looks bad. And he's also got the head scan that comes on the figure, which is a head scan, if we're going to be honest, we've seen plenty of times before, if I recall. I don't think that's a new head scan, but it was featured on the Elite Series 100 figure, if I recall correctly. Of course, he's got this headband that he was wearing in the package that you could put on either head scan. If I can do it without making the Cena fall, I shall show you. Bada bing, bada boom. Slides on there fairly easy. You could do it with one hand, adjust it to your liking, you know. Bada bing, bada boom. I think that looks pretty good. We've also got this other set of hands, just like I mentioned earlier. He's got a set of fist hands, and he's also got a set of mic holding / weapon holding hands. Of course, they're in gray because he wore gray gloves. No logos or anything of that. They don't even realistically look like gloves, but to be honest, I can't really complain too much. At least it's better than the AEW Jon Moxley MJF 2-pack so far. On top of it, we've also got the 54 Cena jersey, which is inaccurate, but we all understand why due to copyrighted things. It still looks fairly nice though, despite the fact that there is detail and stuff of that nature missing and or just completely changed. And of course, getting into the best figure here in my opinion, at least next to the Booker T, we have the Steve Austin and his accessories. Of course, he comes with a thing of mustard. He also has a hand holding a gallon of milk. And honestly, I'm not too crazed about the milk carton accessory, but it is going to be kind of funny to watch maybe like Kurt Angle coming out with a gallon of milk. He bops someone with it or some shit. I feel like that'd be a cool little thing to do. Of course, he's got a set of fist hands, and he's got a set of mic holding / weapon holding hands. So he comes technically with the most amount of hand accessories out of all these men. Now, probably one of my favorite accessories, which I do own one of, but we've got the watch accessory, which I mentioned that because, boom, it did come on the Undertaker. I don't think it's a different sculpt or anything of that nature, so if you can tell if it is, tell me I'm wrong, but I personally can't. We've also got the alcohol-fueled Stone Cold, like Steve Austin shirt here. Really nice, unique shirt to get, especially comparing it to the WrestleMania 38 version. This is nice to see, especially just because realistically the only unique thing about this Stone Cold when it comes down to the shirt is the fact that it's got the Texas skull on the back, which I did mention in the review if you did not watch that yet. But of course, when it comes down to it at the end of the day, now that we've got all the accessories up out of the way, we can take a nice good old gander at all of these figures, which realistically, I'm going to start off with probably I guess we can start off with the Stone Cold first, because we did practically review this figure the other day. It is the same build essentially as the WrestleMania 38 Stone Cold I just showed on camera. It does move pretty buttery smooth. We've got the nice head scan here. You've also got the jorts look, which all of this is really stiff if we're gonna be honest. From the legs down, it is really stiff. The knee pad, yeah, the knee pads. The knees not so much, but the boots and all that kind of stuff, it does feel a little stiff in hand, but still fairly nice nonetheless. Though I do want to say it is quite literally just the WrestleMania 38 Stone Cold with a different head scan and stuff popped on it, because I don't know, maybe the shorts are like a tad bit darker on the Mania 38 Stone Cold, but essentially the same formula all the way through. So now that we've got that all set, we can kind of take him out. Next figure I'm going to review is going to be the Eddie Guerrero, which is really nice, let's be honest, but it is a little weird to see him with the lighter skin tone, if I'm going to be honest. And that's just because when I have this Eddie Guerrero, mind you, it is also, oh wait, no, they do have the same torso. I thought this had the Daniel Bryan torso, I'm not gonna lie, but you can clearly see the difference in the skin tone there. It's kind of whatever though. The arms are definitely nice and jacked on this figure though, which is definitely a thing they should be doing with all the Eddies, because I even think the I'm Your Poppy one I just kind of showed off definitely would have had bigger arms like this. Of course, the legs moving pretty alright, kind of got a shitty little kick forward there if I'm gonna be honest, but maybe that could be due to D'Lo Brown syndrome, I can't tell. But of course these figures are all on pinless legs. I almost said pin legs, but they are all on pinless legs, so you know, you gotta work to get that second pose into the knee there. As you can tell, I just had to straight up force it, and it it's a little ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still sick and tired of seeing the pinless legs just because of that. But everything else is posing pretty well. Can't complain too much there, you know. Gonna get into the Cena now, because the Cena, realistically, all of these figures have the same issue. They don't want to kick forward at all for you. Like, kind of had to force the Cena to kick that far up. And to be honest, it's kind of a bit ridiculous, along with the legs being super stiff. Oh, Jesus. I don't even want to attempt to pose that. But everything else does move fairly buttery smooth. Though I will say the shoe mold Tim's is definitely fucking weird. Of course, you do have everything else that moves buttery smooth. It's kind of weird to think that every figure here, except for the Stone Cold, the lower legs just do not pose the best. Like, of course, when it comes to Booker T, this man is barely kicking forward, and as you can tell, there's still a little bit of articulation I should be able to reach there, but it's just not trying to get there. So I don't know how to feel about any of these figures realistically. And of course, you got the legs that are like ready to fucking snap because the shit's pinless and they don't know how to quality control the pins. Yeah, I don't know exactly how to feel about this set. Oh, Jesus Christ. Talk about breaking a fucking finger just to bend a leg. So yeah, Mattel, if you're watching this, highly doubt you are, but if you are, please, for the love of country Christmas, give us the pin legs, please. They move so much better. Like, look, you see this? Batista on pins. If I can... Boom, buttery smooth. But you take someone like, for instance, well, take Cactus Jack, no pins, but boom, like, how is Cactus Jack getting better articulation without pins? I don't get it. But at the end of the day, why don't I shut up? We can get these boys all accessoried up, and, well, we can give our final thoughts on this bad boy now, shall we? Alrighty, you guys. Now that I've got all four of these men posed up, I can tell you exactly how I feel right out of the gate about all these figures. I definitely do enjoy having all of these in hand, especially just finding them on the whim on going to Target. Because if I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really expect to find both of these today. I figured maybe the MJF Moxley 2-pack would be there just because... Well, it's definitely a hit or a miss set, and to me it's a big miss. For 20 bucks, it's still kind of not worth it. But for this I paid around 80 bucks for. Together I paid like a little over 100 something for that, the MJF 2-pack, and the, I bought a Mountain Dew to just drink, because, you know, been drinking Mountain Dew since I was a kid, so Baja Blast it, you know what I mean? Anyway, I don't think you do. But when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, I do accept some of the flaws when it comes down to these figures for the overall fact that not just are you getting four, you're also getting a lot of cool accessories. And when I said four, I meant, you know, obviously four figures, if you didn't get the hint there, I guess. And they all just come with nice cloth goods. Like, every accessory here is pretty damn good, except for the John Cena Schmutz face. So that's kind of a little wacky. And I do kind of wish the Eddie Guerrero was in the same skin tone as the one I have. But it's not the worst ordeal, I guess. We'll just have to never use the head scans on either or. But yeah, with all of that kind of stuff being said, and the fact that we've technically got 3 different shades of gene molds and all that kind of stuff, or, well, not 3 different shapes, I meant shades. If I did say shapes, might be. But yeah, at the end of the day, what would I have to say about this set if I were to rank it on a scale of 1 to 10? Well, I would have to at least rank this on a scale of 1 to 10, probably a good solid 8. And that's just because every figure in here is pretty damn good if this is what you're looking for. But the legs are super stiff. The head scans on certain ones are a little iffy. So at the end of the day, it's not the worst. But yeah, I definitely kind of wish there maybe was a little bit more like weapon-wise. Especially knowing that this was a parking lot brawl. But whatever. I know it's not like we're going to get a car accessory for them to slam each other onto and stuff of that nature. If anything, they make that and sell it separately. So, keep that in mind that they technically do have WWE action figure vehicles, but none of them are really all that interesting in my opinion. It depends on how you look at it at the end of the day. But speaking of how I look at it at the end of the day, I do kind of gotta wrap this up a little bit faster than intended because we are now at 5% on my phone. So, we're gonna kind of just rush through this real quick. What would I rate this on a scale of 1 to 5 stars? You know, the good old 1 to Young Buck match. Well, I said it was a good solid 8. So I think on that note, we are going to make this a good solid 4 out of 5 stars. Everything is solid. Everything is damn near close, but no cigar. Maybe a couple little small things for me personally I would have liked to have seen. Maybe stuff that we could have gotten, maybe stuff we did get, but a little bit better, you know, like maybe actually getting some like Shad Gaspar Tim molds from the older figures to put onto the Cena, maybe the updated skin tone, you know, just whatever you could think of. But between the packaging here in the background, all 4 of these figures, everything is really solid. And on that note, you know, technically I don't know if I'll upload this before or after, but I do technically have one more figure review to do. Whether we see it or not, I don't know. But maybe it'll be seen after this, maybe it won't be. It is a dude from around this kind of era though, and technically we did review a figure of his the other day, but do I want to give a hint as to what that is? Because it could be any one of these 4 men. Maybe it could be a Moxley, it could be an MJF. Maybe, just maybe, it's a Farouk. Maybe it's a Bradshaw. Who knows? It could honestly be a whole lot of things, because I tend to review stuff very frequently on the channel. But yeah, you know, with that being said, on this note, you know, if we do end up seeing that review, whether it's in the middle of the past 2 I just did, or whether I do that one tomorrow on its own separate occasion, I don't know. But yeah, we've already said enough. So hopefully just keep your eyes out for the 2-pack for the single review that's going to be coming out today. If not, tomorrow. And with all that being said, if you liked the video, feel free to like the video. If you did not, well, womp womp. Because I can tell you this figure set is definitely worth the money that you're paying for. And yeah, on that note, if you did like the video, feel free to subscribe. After all, it is free to subscribe. We are currently sitting at 240 subscribers as of currently, you know, recording this. Maybe we go up 1, maybe we go down 1, I don't know. But if we could, I don't know if I mentioned it in the MJF Moxley 2-pack, because I was just fairly irritated. If you guys could, you know, subscribe. We are on the journey to 250 subscribers. And yeah, you know, that's coming up really soon, but we are also 10 subs away. We are officially just 10 subs away. So, you know, share this with your dog, share this with your goldfish, share this with any kind of fish. You could share it with a piranha if you want. Share it with your cat, share it with your sister, share it with your brother, no matter the age, because, you know, I'm an adult, I collect too, so maybe if they're an adult, they do too. And if they're kids and you guys allow your kids to watch videos where people curse, especially like the last one, because I was throwing F-bombs out there like no tomorrow. I was dropping them shits like we were back in World War II, to be honest, like holy shit. But yeah, you know, if you guys allow that, feel free to send this to your little brother, I guess, or your little sister, I don't know. I don't really want to feel like I'm advertising this to kids, but at this rate, let's be honest, they're toys. kids are gonna see this, and I know I do have a couple of kid followers that do follow me on here and watch my videos. You know, shout out to you, my boy. I can't remember your name exactly off the top of my head, but you know who you are if you are still tuning in. We did have a conversation not all that long ago in the comment section below. But you know, speaking of that, if you guys would like to, feel free to leave your opinions in the comment section below. And yeah, on that note, have a good rest of your day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I don't know, because I'm not in your time zone and my phone is on 2%. So, on that note, we are out of here. Deuces, ooses, yeet. Brain buster.